Hello. How is everyone doing? Hold on, I didn't have music queued up. Hold on. Ooh. Oh, that's not that. Hold on. Let me clear the queue here. There we go. There we go. All right, let's watch something. All right, let's see. What is there to watch? Should we go on TikTok and see what there is? Let's see. Apparently I have to log in really quick. That's annoying. Let's see. Nothing too interesting. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, I know I'm not showing my screen, but not a whole lot on YouTube. You want to look at some engineering stuff. What is a wire? A weir? W-E-I-R-S. Let me show you. What is a wire?
Being able to control the level of water in a river is beneficial in quite a few ways. Historically, mills relied on water power to drive saws, grinding wheels, and other equipment. Raising the water level in a river can also allow boats and ships to navigate areas that would otherwise be inaccessible. Finally, having control of a river can help mitigate the damaging impacts of flooding. But how do we get this type of control over the level in a body of water? Hey, I'm Grady, and this is Practical Engineering. On today's episode, we're talking about weirs.
Oh, I see.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare, the best way to learn a new skill online. More on that later. A weir is a small dam built across a river to control the upstream water level. Weirs have been used for ages to control the flow of water in streams, rivers, and other water bodies. Unlike large dams which create reservoirs, the goal of building a weir across a river isn't to create storage, but only to gain some control over the water level. Over time, the term weir has taken on a more general definition in engineering to apply to any hydraulic control structure that allows water to flow over its top, often called its crest. In fact, the spillways of many large dams use weirs as control structures. So how do they work? If you watch my previous video on the basics of open channel hydraulics, you'll remember that for subcritical flow, that is, slow, tranquil flow seen in most rivers, the depth is controlled by downstream conditions. That means adding a weir across a river will increase the water level upstream. But by how much depends on the flow. This is the equation for flow over a weir. We're not going to do any calculations here, but it's important to know the factors that govern the performance of our hydraulic structure. This equation says that the amount of flow that passes over a weir depends on three factors: the length of the weir, the height of the water level above the crest of the weir, and this coefficient which changes depending on the geometry of the weir. The graph of a hydraulic structure's flow versus water level is called its rating curve, and this is the rating curve for a typical weir. In many cases, a weir is a passive structure, meaning that once it's installed, there's no way to change this rating curve, and that's not always ideal. Streams and rivers are subject to tremendous variability in flow rate. A hydraulic structure may normally flow a small amount, but in flooding conditions be asked to pass incredible volumes of water. With a passive structure and fixed rating curve, that variability in flow means tremendous variability in the water level upstream. During a flood, a weir may back up water badly enough to cause damage upstream. If you're using a weir for a spillway on a dam, you might have to build your dam much higher just to handle the water level that occurs during very rare but extreme cases, increasing the overall cost of the structure. Ideally, hydraulic structures used to control water level would have a flat rating curve, meaning over a wide range of flows you only get small changes in level. So how could we flatten this curve? Going back to the weir equation, there are only two other parameters available to increase the flow for a given water surface. We can improve the geometry of the weir to increase its efficiency. Different shapes of weirs can pass flow more efficiently and thus have a higher discharge coefficient, but this has a practical limit. The most efficient shape for a weir is to match the curve that the water would take off a sharp crest. This part of the flow is called the weir's nap, and the shape that matches it is called an ogee. With ogee-crested weirs, we can get discharge coefficients as high as around 4, but that's pretty much the limit. The other parameter we can change is the length of the weir, but in many locations, the available footprint for the weir is a fixed size that can't be increased. Even if the footprint isn't fixed, increasing the length of the weir can add significant costs. Of course, this challenge is easy to address if we allow for structures with moving parts. Many dams and spillways have large gates or valves to control flow. There are a wide variety of types of controlled outlets used on hydraulic structures, including crest gates that act like weirs that can be raised or lowered. The benefit is that the structure's capacity can be increased while flows are high by opening gates, and then decreased when flows return back to normal. Controlled structures provide more flexibility in how water gets released or held back, essentially turning a static rating curve into a family of curves that can be selected from to meet operational goals. Of course, controlled outlets come with a major disadvantage of increased complexity, and in many cases, requiring an actual person be available 24/7 to open gates and make releases based on inflows. So what if we could get the benefit of a controlled outlet without the disadvantages of increased complexity and operational obligation? Well, there's one more trick that hydraulic engineers have up their sleeves. Remember when before I said you could only fit a certain length of weir within a fixed footprint? That's not completely true. We can actually fold a weir to get more length within a given space. This is called a nonlinear weir, and it's used in situations where you want greater discharge within a given footprint, but without the need for actively controlled outlets. To show how this works, I built this flume and some model weirs. This first weir just goes directly across the flume with no bends. I'll mark the water level in the flume, first using the straight weir. Now with the same flow rate, I'll replace the linear weir with the folded version. This has just about twice as much weir length in the same footprint. You can see that even though the weir is passing the same amount of flow, the water level upstream is lower, almost half the distance to the crest from the original level. We flatten the rating curve, allowing for greater discharge at a lower water level. Nonlinear weirs with folded cycles like this are called labyrinth weirs, and they're becoming more common as hydraulic control structures. There are also rectangular versions called piano key weirs.
That's cool. I had no idea that was even a thing.
It's easy to see how beneficial weirs can be, from generating power to improving navigation, controlling flooding, and even acting as the spillways of dams. But with all those benefits, there are some downsides as well. Impoundments across rivers affect the aquatic environment. Low-head dams can also pose a serious danger to swimmers and boaters, a topic I'd like to discuss in the future. In fact, many old weirs that are no longer needed are being replaced or completely removed to restore the river to its natural state. But as long as we need to control the flow of water in our constructed environment, weirs will continue to be an important tool for a hydraulic engineer. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think.
Cool. We want to watch some memes? What should we watch? An F650. Huh. Interesting. That's not creepy at all. Sure, let's do that. I hate this stupid quality thing. Okay, does that happen for anybody else? Does that happen for anyone else, or is that just me? But for some reason, YouTube always defaults to like 360 or 480p, and I don't understand why. It always does that, and it's really annoying.
Jamin, which way did he go?
No, no, no.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You had 2 tests?
I did
Oh,
that.
I've seen this
You got a
one.
53 and a 60. You can cheat. It's online.
I did cheat.
And you still got a 53 and a 60.
There's a key in my car, okay? Dad.
You had 2 tests?
I did that.
You got a 53 and a 60. You can cheat. It's online.
I did cheat.
And you still got a 53 and a 60.
Okay, this one's is mean, but it's kind of funny. It's mean and funny. Also, just letting everyone know, if there is even anybody watching, so I did another video similar to this. Was the video, if I laugh, I'll Venmo you $10 or $15 or whatever. That video got taken down because apparently it was like YouTube thought it was promoting self-harm or something like that. I don't even know. But yeah, that's kind of annoying. Even so, I am not watching anything that has any sort of restriction on it because I don't want the video to get taken down, or the stream in this case. But yeah, I got an email about that and I was like, what? And this isn't really funny, but I had no idea YouTube did that, but they sent out like an email and they're like, hey, are you doing okay? Like, do you need help? Because somehow, like, I don't know how that even happened, because as far as I know, I didn't watch anything about self-harm and I didn't talk anything about that. But yeah, I tried to appeal it and they were like, nope, we don't accept it. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. So yeah.
James Charles?
I don't like that. Oh. Oh no, 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 no. No, no, no.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake!
That is too true.
Your. Tum. Tuna. Tum. Mowing. Tum. Uncle. Tum tum. Your uncle mows your tuna. Tum 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 tum.
Yes, this is very true. What is that even from?
What are you doing?
But you don't even have any hair.
Oh, that was loud. Okay. Hold on, I gotta go back. The one. This is what I love.
What are you doing?
But you don't even have any hair.
God, that's so loud. Nice, and bat flip. Oh no, 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 no. I've had that happen, and it's so painful. This is most definitely true. Oh, that's hilarious. Army of seagulls.
Wendy's, is that you?
Hi, welcome to Wendy's.
No. Gross. That looks painful. True enough. I want to know, okay, is it just me, or what crazy person sinks so much time into that game for basically frame perfect moves? Why? That just seems insane. That seems insane. And no offense to the person that did that, but I've seen some other people do it. I've never played it myself, but I guarantee you it wouldn't end very good. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, on with the video.
¿Viste que la perra del vecino está embarazada? No sabe qué pasó, ¿no?
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Self-loading laundry basket. Oop, almost got it. There you go.
Hi, can I help you?
No.
I'm like really fast at running. Oh my god! See, I told you I'm really fast at running.
Oh. No, I remember this. Hmm. Okay. I will have to say that, and I'm not necessarily taking sides, but unfortunately, that is kind of what society has put it at. Hello, Nimesh. Nimesh? Nimesh? Hello, how are you? But yeah, that is unfortunately kind of true. Which, like, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be at stake when females are unhappy, but I feel like it should kind of, you know, go both ways. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but whatever. And if you don't, I mean, everyone's opinions are different, but that's just my opinion. It's just interesting because it's true. Oh, good TF2 memes.
Way to go, guys! Let's shoot for 40.
Oh.
Go, guys! Let's shoot for 40.
Oh no.
If you need more storage, get yourself a shag rug carpet because the capacity
I've
on
seen
these
this
things
before.
is insane. Like, for example, so I keep my extra chapstick in here. I have extra money that I leave in here. My wand from Universal's in here. I have all of my markers in here. There's a few. I have a few. I think that's, oh, one more. Yep. And then I think I have a full set of D&D dice in here somewhere. Yep, right here. There you go. My headphones are in here too. Yep, just gotta keep that. And then oop, that's been in there a while.
True.
10.
Gets any fingers running out.
2.
12.
What?
Did you poop?
It's out.
Oh my gosh.
Dear Diary, after 1,562 days of begging my dearest human not to leave, not to ever leave, he has finally listened. Most of my days now spent staring at him, or following behind him at the distance of 1.5 feet, lest he ever fall. It is truly heaven, and I pray it will stay like.
Dogs are very sweet, but I will have to say, I've had my fair share of not so great dogs. Let's just say in my household, we used to have 5. Now we have 4. We have a husky, We have a German Shepherd Poodle who looks very similar to an Irish Wolfhound, black. A Chiweenie, so Dachshund Chihuahua, and a full-on Dachshund. And the big dogs are not that bad. I mean, they're definitely hyper, especially the black dog, Oberon is his name. But oh my gosh, the little dogs are so annoying. If I ever get a dog, I'm not getting a little dog. I'm sorry. Like, they can be adorable, and yes, they can be easier to take care of. Oh my God. Every single small dog we've ever had has got to pee all over our house, and just literally one of our dogs just walks out in the middle of the floor with everybody around and just pees right there. Doesn't even care. Or just poops right on the floor. It's crazy. I'm a cat person myself, though I have sheltered several dogs. Yeah, so I'm definitely more of a cat person. We also have 4 cats too, so we have a lot of animals. We got that bearded dragon, then we got another bearded dragon in a different room, and I thought I was going to sneeze. But animals are just... What's funny is, and I don't know if this is true for anybody else, but for me, I've been exposed to animals all my life. And so if you've ever noticed anybody... Oh my gosh, I'm having problems talking. Anybody online that doesn't really have a whole lot of exposure to a lot of animals, or maybe has never owned one, they're always like, oh, I wish I could have a dog. The dogs look so adorable. And oh, I want to have one. Whereas me, it's almost like not like that. Like, I kind of want to just have very small amount of animals. Like maybe a cat. I have a cat and she's awesome. She comes into the stream sometimes. So her name's Zelda. Now I have a bearded dragon, and that's like all I really need. And both of them are not, not very high maintenance. Cats aren't super high maintenance. I mean, probably the most maintenance thing is their litter box, but we have some automatic ones, and they use the silica stuff. I think it's silica, but which is way better than normal cat litter. If you can get the silica ones with the automatic scooper, so much better. So much better. The smell just in general is huge, and any sort of dust, they have no dust. It's crazy. Anyways, but yeah, for me, it's just kind of, I want to break, because I've always been sort of bombarded with household animals all my life. I'm 17, and as far back as I can remember, we've always had multiple animals in the house. Now we have way more, but I just, maybe a dog and a cat, but like just one or the other, and then possibly something that's maybe a little bit more exotic, like a bearded dragon, a snake, or something like that. And like, that's all I really need, because I just kind of don't want to have all these animals, and definitely not a small dog, because I can't stand them. I cannot stand them. I don't know what it is, but just the, the yippiness, the peeing everywhere. And yes, big dogs will do that too, but with all of our small dogs, they've always done that. I've only ever owned one cat at a time. Actually, I had the same cat for 15 years. He passed away. He passed 5 months ago, waiting to adopt another from local shelter. Yeah, it sucks. Like, I wish certain animals would live longer, because I mean, cats generally live longer than dogs most of the time. Although we had a dachshund pass, and he was 17. Yeah, I'm sorry he passed. I know it sucks. We've had lots of animals pass. But my plan is to kind of, when my cat passes, which I'm not hoping happens anytime soon, I love her to death, but I'm probably going to get maybe either rescue a cat or maybe get a kitten. I don't know. Maybe get a kitten that was abandoned. I don't know, something. But yeah, definitely adopt one is definitely the way to go, because getting them from a breeding place is just kind of ridiculous. And upon my opinion, do whatever you want. Like, I'm not telling you what to do, but I think that there's just way too much overbreeding. And the thing is, especially some people are super crazy about certain cats, and like the really expensive ones. Is it a Himalayan something? I don't remember. That's like $900 to, like $5,000 for a cat. It's like, that's just ridiculous when you can go and rescue a cat that needs a home instead of paying that much money for a kitten. Because normally when you get a purebred, they have more health issues than a mix. Because normally when you get a mix, you mostly keep the good stuff and lose some of the bad traits about whatever breed it is. But yeah, I think rescuing is definitely a better way to go. And it sometimes will mean you don't get as long of time with the cat. Now my cat, we got her from our neighbor, who her cat just happened to come back with kittens out of nowhere. So she needed to get rid of them, and so we took two. So we have Zelda, and well, we had Twilight. He ran off, and that happened 3-4 years ago, 5 years. I don't even remember. It's been a long time, and never seen him since. But sorry, I didn't mean to intentionally not read your stuff. But snakes are beautiful, but I have a phobia. No reason. It's just straight up phobia. Yeah, I used to have a corn snake, and they're actually pretty cool. And I know some people are, don't like them or something, but if you've ever touched one, so I know one of the big things that some people don't really realize is they're not slimy. They're actually, well, the majority of them, like let's just say a corn snake, are almost silky smooth. It's just like they can be slightly oily depending on the breed, but they're super smooth. They have no slime. Like they're shiny because of their scales, but yeah, they're pretty cool. My corn snake was pretty neat, but we had to get rid of them, which sucked. But the only thing was just the mice. So we had to feed him frozen mice. And so what I would do is I'd keep 1 or 2 mice in the freezer, because he'd get fed once a week. One small mouse. Was it small or adult? I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, mice are pretty small, but and so I just have to heat the, well, it was dead mouse up in like front of a heater or something, but and then he'd eat it, and it was really cool to watch. And corn snakes by themselves are not they're not poisonous either, or venomous. They're not at all. So they're completely safe to handle, and usually pretty calm too. They're not very aggressive. Yeah, I found my old boy Mazer by a dumpster outside a Dollar General. He was a good dumpster baby, lol. Yeah. Dude, it is crazy. Whoever Potts Schaefer is, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Okay, go away. I don't understand what it is with people and like throwing pets away, or just, have you seen, I think it's been on the news a little bit, but there's been video footage of it. People will take their dogs that they just don't want anymore out, or cats or whatever, and take them out to the middle of a desert or the middle of a forest, some out in the middle of nowhere where there's no homes or anything, and just drop them off outside their car and drive off. I'm sorry for the cussing, but what the actual fuck is wrong with people that do that? If you at least give it to a shelter, like if you really can't take care of it or really don't want it, give it to a shelter. Don't leave it out there to die, because domestic animals like that, I mean, sort of with the exception of cats, they can survive on their own, but a domestic dog is going to have no idea what to do, because they've never had to do that their whole life. They've never really had to fend for themselves. So either they get really lucky and get found by someone, or somehow manage to live. They're going to die. Like, you're just putting them out there. You might as well just take them out there and kill them yourself, because that's essentially what you're doing. And it's so sad too that you have these perfectly nice and sweet dogs and cats and kittens and stuff. A lot of it's kittens and stuff like that as well, just to be thrown away. It's crazy. I've rehomed 3 dogs in the past 4 months alone that were just dropped off at a local store down the road from me. They just leave them. It's gross. I know. It's disgusting. I don't know what the hell has to be wrong with you. I also like how I'm talking about this. Wasn't really paying attention, but there's a picture of 2 cats right here. It's kind of funny, but I don't understand, like, what is wrong with people? Why are people like that? It really is disgusting why people do that. I don't understand. Or like the other thing that I think it's died down a little bit, I could be completely wrong, but like with pit bulls, with people being afraid of pit bulls because apparently they're so vicious and everything. And actually, wait, hold on. There's a this is how you take down, what is it, vicious, what vicious, how do I even spell that? Vicious animals like this. I wonder if the video will come up. Meme? Pit bulls. Ah, there it is. Wait, no. No, that's not it. This one, yes. Okay. All right. This is not terrible at all. It's quite funny.
This is called the Pitbull Takedown. It's specifically designed to take down vicious animals such as this one. It goes just like this.
Who's a little baby? Are you a little baby? Oh, you're a little baby, yes.
And just like that, she's completely subdued. Yes.
I love that. I love that video. It's just so, yeah, man. Thank you for spelling vicious for me. Apparently I don't know how to spell. At 30, all I can say, oh, are you like saying you're 30 of them? All I can say is people at an individual level suck. Yeah, I know. Isn't that video adorable? I love that video. I was a little baby. And just like that, she's perfectly subdued. It's funny. Yeah, people are just, and it's really kind of mean to say people as a whole, but there are really just kind of a lot of crappy people out there that do really kind of crappy things. It's very sad. I'm going to switch it over to talk here. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. My eyes itch. I'm kind of hungry. It's like 12 o'clock a.m. So basically midnight where I'm at. A little tired, but. You mean politicians? Yes. Yes, definitely most politicians are. Well, yeah. I won't get political because that's not a good thing to do on YouTube. Because you'll have the people that agree with me, and then you'll have the people that absolutely hate what I'm saying. So let's just not go there. You mean that's a good majority of them? Yes, definitely. Just imagine if we could just take half of, just say, politicians and just replace them with, you know, all the corrupt politicians, and just replace them with genuine good people that want a better society and, you know, get America back, essentially. Just imagine how much that would change. Wouldn't that be crazy? 2 a.m. for me, Insomniacs Unite. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get some more streaming hours in to not make there was some stuff that came up on YouTube, and I'm trying to not make like, I won't really get into it because it's, well, shouldn't be public knowledge, but trying to get some more streaming hours in, and I was just kind of up tonight. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of feeling like streaming, because originally I was tired, and then suddenly I kind of just got a burst of energy. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just stream. And don't really know what to stream. Didn't feel like playing a game. And so I just was playing videos and stuff. Term limits for all political offices would still, yeah. The problem is with that is, like, what do you set that to? Because, you know, there would be good things with that, like, you know, not having the same possibly stupid people in office and stuff like that. But then the other thing is, say it was 2 years, which may be really short. I don't know. I'm not like a political genius or anything, but just say it was like 2 years was the limit. I just think the only issue with that is, you know, if every 2 years some new person that could change a lot of stuff in the country or in your state or whatever, every 2 years that would change and could possibly literally switch your whole state around. Like, there's like good sides and bad sides to that. Depends on kind of the term limit and everything. But yeah, I don't think anybody should be in there forever or until they die from whatever. But, and the crazy thing is, and I actually was listening to, I think it was one of Mark's streams. So I have the audio for all of them, but the crazy thing is about that, if you notice, a lot of political people and governors and all that, in, you know, people in office are all old people, like significantly older people. If there was an easy answer, we would have solved this already. Yeah. Unfortunately, there are some things that we could do, but there are like people that don't want to do that because either they lose money or, you know, they don't get their cut of something because it's all either money and power. That's like everything, which is really annoying because what should be is what's better for the people and all that, and not, you know, will this put millions and millions of dollars in my pocket? So, oh wow. But I just forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So like them being older people, right? So there are like older people that understand technology and you know, kind of know how to use stuff, but there are a lot. I can see you stream. Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but it's crazy to think that our country is almost all run by older people that don't know very well how technology works and are so inept to learning newer technology. It's kind of scary because we live in such a technological world now, or at least just say America. Everything's a computer now. I mean, Go XLR, that's a computer. Keyboard, it's basically a computer. What I mean to say is hi. Adolf Martinez. Hi, how are you? But like, a lot of them just don't understand how stuff works, and it's that, you know, they're making laws and putting things together that can seriously impact people, and don't understand how a lot of this newer technology, not even like computer technology, just technology as a whole, really is what that is. Oh yeah, they were talking about Zuckerberg's trial. Where's the Facebook? I thought you were gonna bring the book. What do you mean by that? Where's the Facebook? I thought you were gonna bring the book. Could you explain that? I'm not getting it. Hold on, let me fix the camera. Oh, it's way too high. There we go. The Senates were saying that. Oh, I understand. During the trial about Facebook's privacy. Yeah. Something dumb like that. It's crazy to think that our country is being run by people that are probably still using flip phones. And, you know, nothing necessarily bad about using a flip phone, but when we live in a technology where literally, you know, the phones in our pockets are more powerful than some laptops, is kind of crazy. Just look up the transcript from that trial. It's sad and hilarious. It's hard to feel represented when your representative is 2 or 3 generations from you. Yeah. Yeah, it's so many things in this country that should be fixed. And like, everyone would want it fixed differently. Some people would not agree with the way I would want it fixed, or the way that you would want it fixed. And like, that's perfectly fine. But it'd be so wonderful if we could come to like, you know, a sort of like happy medium, you could say, where it's just like, okay, and obviously that's never going to happen, but it'd be nice and everyone can kind of get a slice of it. Like, they all sort of get what they want. Like, no one's going to get everything because that's ridiculous, but just say like, you know, what is it? Hold on. Let me search this up. Right. Okay. Say like the Second Amendment. Okay. To carry a right to bear arms. Right? Yo, just got here was good. Okay. But just like, you know, the right to bear arms. Now, I am totally with carrying a firearm. Like, that is, I think, should totally be someone's right. And if they, now, you gotta be very careful when you say something like that, because obviously if you're a criminal or you've had multiple charges, then yeah, I would prefer you probably not carry a firearm. But the, I don't know, average American, you could say, or like the people that don't have those issues. I'm trying to be very careful with what I say here. It's kind of difficult. But, you know, the people that are here, you know, legally and do everything they do and mostly stay within the law and stuff like that, I think they should have the perfect right to defend themselves, to be able to carry a firearm. Like, I mean, even if you just go back, say, 50 years, so that'd be 1970, okay? People would, you know, take their pickups and have rifles, like a rifle and a shotgun sitting in the window. Perfectly okay. Like, as long as they didn't have any sort of warrants or anything like that, they were good. But now it's, does he not understand what I meant was good? What is good? How are people? What is good? How? Okay. I'm doing good. Sorry, I may be 17, but I really am terrible with kind of lingo and stuff like that, which makes it sound strange. But it's when you talk in my chat, like, if I don't understand what you say, don't take it personally. I just don't. My brain doesn't work that way for some reason. Sorry. But it's good. I'm good. Just having some interesting conversations and stuff like that. I guess, well, I'm talking, but you're texting. All good. Okay, good. Sorry, my brain just, I don't know what it is, doesn't connect stuff like that. It's very frustrating. Especially when I'll talk to someone and they'll put in like an abbreviation for something and I have to ask what that means. I feel like I'm way older than 17. Like, 17, yeah, I should know what that means. But my brain really works on a good day. I hear you. Dude, today was tough. I was doing a zoology class lab because the college is currently closed for, well, last week, this week, and next week for any sort of in-person labs. It's super annoying because, like, I wanted to take the zoology class for the, you know, getting to dissect whatever it is. So it says trials, then the right to bear arms. I'm confused what we're talking about. So I was sort of talking about getting a little bit political, but like I was originally talking about I think possibly when you showed up was how what is the average age of people in office?
Here is information from Bureau of Labor Statistics.
That's not what I asked. Just reading the comments, we all over the place. Yeah, that's like totally me. Yeah, the average age of a representative is 57, and the average age of a senator is 61, according to quorum.us. Americans over age 65 around the country. Yeah, and like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an older person running that, because age is mostly just a number, because you can still learn new stuff even when you're 80. But with the right stuff, but just bear with me. But the thing is, they're kind of, people of that age can be very stubborn to not learn new things, and go with new technology and all that stuff. They really don't even know how it works. Like kind of how some people say, how do I get on the Google or whatever, how, or my favorite is, so something my grandma does is she's like, well, that's, I go into my Gmail app, not my email app. I'm like, Grandma, it's the same thing. Gmail is literally just the app from Google. It's the exact same thing. And so nothing against my grandma, but it's just kind of one of those things where they don't understand how this stuff works, but they're running our country, which basically runs off that stuff. So do you like any creative games or content where you make levels? Halo Forge, Mario Maker 2, Slime Sand Maker, Level Head. I'm pretty into them at the moment. What is even in my Steam library right now? Let me look. What do I even have downloaded? To be completely honest, I haven't played a game in a while. I really haven't. And I would like to, but what's happened is I'm in high school, but I'm doing early college and doing full 4 classes of college, and I'm a senior this year, so it's a lot. And there's been other things going on the inside, but I just barely had any time. And I've been trying to stream more and stuff like that, which can be difficult when by the time I'm done with everything and I'm able to get time by myself, it's 11 o'clock at night. So that can be a little frustrating, but I don't even think any of these are that any adventure games really. 7 Days to Die, Far Cry 2, The Forest. What genre or thing about games do you like the most when you do have weekends to veg? I'm 27. Time will eventually come. Streaming games is a peaceful things sometimes. Honestly, basically all the games that I have are multiplayer. I really enjoy, I used to really enjoy playing with friends, and I really like what I really love is co-op campaign games. There is not enough co-op campaign games, and there are so many amazing games that would be so much better if you could do the entire thing with someone else. Wouldn't that be awesome? Now, I know there are people that love playing. Sorry if I'm hogging chat, just a creative dude. No, you are perfectly fine. I love reading chat. I love being able to talk with people, since that's kind of what I'm doing is live streaming so I can talk with people. But the main thing is just, I want to be able to play a whole game, have all the features available, but to be able to do it with someone else, because that to me is what's fun. And especially things like kind of more stealth games can be fun, or puzzle games. Those are fun. So one of them is, I don't know, does that count as a puzzle game? It's like an arcade game anyways, but Overcooked 2. You could, okay. Overcooked 2. That's a really fun game, and you're able to do the whole thing with other people. Get Halo HD Master Chief Collection. It's co-op a blast. Can go can go reach all the way to 5. Been co-op loving it, playing with my bro. It's epic as Star Wars. Easily. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's what I really love playing with friends, but lately, well, I've lost a decent amount of friends. Things switched in my life, and unfortunately people kind of showed who they really were, and lost a lot of friends. Lost an entire group that I would normally play with, which really sucks. But then there's been things going on with my other friend. You sound like you'd really like Death Squared. You can play 4-player on varied puzzle maps. Highly recommended. Death Squared. Is that on Steam? What's it about? Death Squared. Ooh. Very positive reviews. Huh. So it's kind of like, that reminds me similar like puzzle style to Portal, like Portal 2. Oh, you just fell. Huh. I'll add that to my cart. That's cool. Friendly co-op multiplayer bundle. Wait. There's multiple. What's this? Tooth and Tail. Lead Revolution, Army of Flamethrowing Boars, Master Guess. Oh, is this, yeah, it's got remote play. So, like, the other person wouldn't even really need to get the game. You play as a cube, but each level is entirely co-op or challenge-based, switching from block to block and managing space and stacking on top of each other. Life happens. I'm a totally different person with totally new friends at 30 compared to 17. Sucks in the moment, but life goes on. Yeah. Out of space. What's this about? Local and online co-op game. I think moving out's another one too. I saw Mark, Bob, and Wade play that. That looked fun. Kind of reminds me of Overcooked again. Just that similar play style. Interesting. Knights of Pen and Paper. Oh wait, no. Castronauts. Another one similar to that. That's cool. Markiplier Tarzan, yeah. Yeah, I wish Mark and Jack had streamed it, because then I could have gotten all 4 cameras, but I just had to work with what I got. Also, quick like question for everyone in chat. So, I forgot to do it this last time for this last batch of videos, but if you're into more platformer co-op games, which doesn't require co-op, highly recommend A Hat in Time on Steam. You can hold me to it. Best collectathon, especially with Steam Workshop mods. A Hat in Time. A Hat in Time. Okay. A cute as heck 3D platformer featuring a little girl who stitches hats for wicked powers. Freely explore giant worlds and recover timepieces to travel to new heights. Interesting. So it also has co-op as an option, but that's cool. I'll add that to the cart. You know, what I would like to do is I would like to find a game that I enjoy playing by myself. But the issue with playing a game by myself is, unless there is like activity in the chat, which there has been more and more, like as my career of streaming and doing YouTube has gone on. Whoa, hello. There has been like more and more chat interaction. The Steam Workshop community content on top of the killer base game make it the best collectathon. Cool. I might end up checking that out. I'll see some videos online or something. I might watch some and see if that's something I'm into. But I would like to, because when I play games, because well, what I would always do is just not really talk. And so unless, you know, I'm super good at a game, say, you know, I'm like Shroud level, kind of just super ridiculously good at a specific game, I don't find that interesting. And most of the time when I want to watch a video, like, that's why most of the videos that I watch are people multiplayer videos on YouTube. So like with Mark, I watch well, a lot of Markiplier, as is probably kind of given, but I like their Uno stuff, you know, Monopoly, any of those kind of games, and just them playing together, because I will have it in my browser when I'm doing school, because I do online school and stuff. So I'll have it over there on another monitor, and I'll mostly just listen to it and do school, because just the commentary by itself is enjoyable for me. And so I'll read your thing in just a second, but for me, I always feel like I should just play with someone, because if I don't, I'm just not gonna talk, unless there is chat activity to talk to, because like right now I wouldn't be talking if you guys weren't saying stuff or you know, asking things or whatever it is, you know. And so I personally find that boring if they're not talking, the person in the YouTube video is not talking, or it's very minimal. I don't really care for that, because most of the time, unless it's a game that I want to see, I'll just listen to it. And that kind of goes for, as far as I know, quite a few people from my channel for the YouTube videos, because, well, they're a podcast essentially. Do you at all like whoa, do you at all like Smash Bros or fighting games? Rivals or Aether on Steam Workshop has over 3,000 items, stages, characters, and game modes made for fans by fans, essentially actually free DLC every week. Soul in here with the good recommendations. I know. This is kind of, I swear, I'm like all over the place tonight. It must be because I'm a little tired, but has anyone ever just, well, obviously it's not just me, but I feel like for 17-year-old, especially for someone that does YouTube as a job, you would think that I have played a bunch of games, right? You would think that my Steam library is full of games. Right now, I have 33. Is that 33? Yeah. It says, yeah. I can't be right. Oh, okay. 33 games installed in my Steam library. I have a 4 terabyte SSD, and well, a lot of it's taken up by like Warzone, and I think I have Fortnite installed for some strange reason, but like that's all I have. And I don't know. I used to I used to have a really crappy laptop, like so crappy it overheated and killed part of the keyboard. So much so that when I had to log in or type something, I had to use the on-screen keyboard in Windows because it wouldn't work. The keys didn't work anymore. And at the time of getting the laptop, it was like $100. It was an old HP laptop that I wish I never even bought. Well, I didn't buy it. My parents bought it, which, whatever. But, you know, my dad, who used to work in, he was in the Navy, and so he would, long time ago, he's well, older, obviously, because he's my dad, but he used to do the coding and computer stuff. And at the time, I don't know what year it was, but you know, his carrier, he worked on the old John F. Kennedy carrier, which is now being decommissioned. Well, it has been decommissioned, and there's a new Kennedy carrier coming out. And so, what was it? These huge blocks, I think, held 4 megabytes. And his carrier was special because it had 2 and could hold double the amount of information of any of the other ships. And just to think about that, it's crazy to think about that on a little M.2 size, I don't know how many millimeters this, I can't remember what the millimeters of a standard M.2 is, but to have 8 terabytes. Let me do the math really quick, because I'm curious now. Hold on, I'll read your stuff in a second. Where are you? Data. Okay, terabytes into megabytes. So yeah, so 4 million megabytes. Yeah, right. Wow. They would need 1 million of those boxes. Those huge things that were super heavy to make up the same amount of information that can be installed on a little tiny thing like this big. Little tiny thing that big, that's super thin too, like really thin. That's crazy. Just to think how far technology's come. Anyways, back to the point is my laptop before that, what had ended up happening is I accidentally picked it up and there was an earbud in between the screen and the keyboard. So, you know, like if you were to pick up a laptop that's closed, you grab, you know, the screen with your thumb and the bottom with it, and you just pick it up by the edge, right? I did that. Pop. The earbud was in the middle, and I went to pick it up, put a bunch of force on the screen, didn't realize that it was slightly ajar, cracked the screen. And so for a little bit there, I actually took the whole hinge thing off and connected an HDMI cable into a TV, small TV, and used that for a while until finally I was able to get something newer. That one was actually faster than the new one the newer one that I got. And the only difference that I knew at the time was the RAM was different. It went from 4 gigs of RAM to 8 gigs. And at the time, I had no idea what that meant. And then my dad, because at his time, they were, you know, like limited on that stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, having more RAM, it can do more stuff every cycle, every grab. Well, that's sort of true, but only when you're dealing with stuff that will max out the RAM. Or being able to store stuff with RAM is also can be really important. So me being naive and not knowing anything about computers like I do now, it's like, okay, sure, let's go get that. It's $100, let's go get it. The battery, I didn't think was going to be an issue. The battery never worked. And so I could never take it anywhere. It always had to be plugged into the wall. And I used that for a while. I played Far Cry 2 on that laptop for a while. Had everything at low. I think the resolution was 1600 by 900. Or maybe even 720p. I don't remember. And it ran anywhere from 25 to 50 frames per second, depending on the area. All low settings. And it's crazy because now I can run that game maxed out. 1440p, everything turned up. Except motion blur, because motion blur sucks. And it like runs at like what? 140, 240 frames per second, something like that. It's crazy. And I played on that for a while, and actually I got pretty far. And then I borked the game. Something happened with a save file. It saved incorrectly. I don't even know how it happened. And I got to this point where it was either that I could be remembering this wrong, or I couldn't figure out what to do. And so I think I was supposed to go into a building, but something went weird where it wouldn't ever let me in the building. Like you'd go up, so sometimes you can go up to a door and then like someone will open it and you'll go into a cutscene. It would never do that. And my save game was stuck because that was the next objective and I couldn't leave the area. I had spent all that time. And at the time, I probably possibly could have fixed it now, but I mean, that's save files long gone. But I also played it for a little bit just for fun with the because with Far Cry 2 you could put in certain like game run settings. So for God mode or unlimited ammo or whatever, you could put in there just in like the launch settings for the game, and it would just run. And so yeah, and that was the only game that I can ever remember playing by myself with no one else to talk to, just for fun. And I haven't done that in over probably a year, 2 years. I haven't done that. And I've had a gaming PC for a while. I've had one since $2019. Maybe it was before that. I had an old Dell T3600 workstation with a 1660 Ti, a 512 gig SSD that I still have, which I put in RAID with another 500 gig SSD, and a 500 gig hard drive, which I don't think I have that anymore, and a Xeon E5-16200 CPU, which was a 4-core 8-thread at a measly 3.6 gigahertz on a very old process. Now I have, well, still the 1660 Ti, because that's still fairly good, and well, I can't really get anything else right now anyways. But the main upgrade, and huge upgrade, because I've always been CPU bottlenecked and everything, I went from the Xeon to the i7 7700, which I couldn't even overclock, to a Ryzen 9 5900X, 12 cores, 24 threads. I also have it with Precision Boost Overdrive manually enabled with some manual settings that can make it boost up to like 4.9 gigahertz. It's crazy. So, okay, I'll read through your stuff. I've been talking to it. Okay. All good. You're 17, focusing on scholastics. It's totally normal to have a busy chunk. Don't sweat the time you spend. If you enjoy the time spent, it pays off. No need to beat yourself up or shut down. Yeah. If you enjoy the time you waste, then you didn't waste it. Yeah. I have roughly 1,000 games. I'm picky about why I like the ones, and why am I having a hard time reading? I am picky about why I like the ones I have and which are actually the top best. Wise words, Velocity, yeah. This might sound bad, but I think you should make a small amount of time to play Among Us. Games can be very quick. It's easy to pick up and play, and other roles make the game way more fun with voice chat. I have Among Us. I have it. I've played it before. I don't think I've ever played it on stream. Maybe I did on Twitch a long time ago. I used to stream on Twitch. I don't do that anymore. But I have it, and I haven't touched it since January 4th of 2021 was the last time I played it. I've only played it for 10.8 hours. Interesting. Yeah. I would like to just find time, first of all, to do stuff, but to be able to have a single player game that is something I enjoy, that I would like it to be some sort of like action game or something, because like puzzles and stuff are fun, but maybe something maybe more adventure. Can kind of do what I want. I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot of games in general. Like, I wouldn't really call myself a true gamer. Like, I play games, but in comparison to some of my old friends, I mean, one of them has like 1,400 games in his Steam library and has 100%ed quite a few. I think he 100%ed Doom. I think another one was Wolfenstein something. I don't remember. But yeah, I just feel like, obviously I shouldn't feel like I'm dumb just because I am not a huge gamer and take a ton of time and play video games. One of the old friends has like probably over 2,000 hours in CS:GO, which I can't even imagine having 1,000 hours in a game and playing it that much, because I would just get bored. It seems like you enjoy puzzle, deduction, co-op, and actually interacting with people, but don't have time. That game you can play 10 minutes and get that feeling. Yeah. Maybe. I might do some stream stuff with that, but I've just been super like unmotivated to really do anything anymore. Like, there's not a ton of stuff that I find a whole lot of like joy in, and like I do, but it's not as much as it used to be, and it just kind of feels like I'm almost growing out of it, which is kind of strange to say at 17 and whatever. But my friend, he's now 19, Tristan, so he's been on streams. He's got his own YouTube channel, but he's now going to be working like 2 jobs and stuff like that. And I mean, I basically, with the exception of a Saturday, like don't have any time anymore, and I don't have anybody else that I play with. My sister, Sophie, she's been on stream as well. I have played with her, but it's not really the same thing, and she's also got a ton of school to do as well. A single player action game is kind of game you're looking for. Might need to know more about what kind of games you enjoy: cross genre, roguelike, creative, sandbox, story heavy, etc. I honestly don't know. Like, I like shooters, so I do enjoy shooting guns and stuff like that, and like some of the Call of Duty campaigns and stuff like that, but it'd be fun to, although I'd have to get the game, but it'd be fun to go back and play the first Black Ops campaign, because I played that on an Xbox 360 that we used to have until basically I played it so much and snuck out to our shed that it was in, and to play it so much that my parents got rid of it. Define the single player or game you'd think you'd define the single player or game you think you'd most enjoy most. But it'd be funny to just go back and play it, because the nostalgia I'd get from it, because what would be funny is from the sound effects and stuff, because it would be dark out in the shed, I'd get scared and I'd like hide under the blankets and stuff, but continue to play. And then I'd get caught sometimes being out there. But I used to play that and got decently far in the game. I had it on like the easiest mode, but yeah, so many things to think about, and growing up is kind of a big part of that, because there's so many things that need to be figured out, you know, with what the hell I'm going to do as a career. Like, I'd like to do YouTube, but I know that's not necessarily completely going to happen. Like, I still need some other kind of backup way to make money if I can't continue doing it on YouTube. Can't recommend many if you like shooters and adventure games. I'd try and playable version of Dogfight game originally from Xbox called Crimson Skies. Homefront was one. I have Homefront was it Revolution? Yeah. I did play that for a little bit. Okay, it's called Crimson Skies. I'm assuming that's probably not on Steam, because it doesn't show up on here. Crimson Core, but that's not it. Is it like probably on the Xbox or the Microsoft Store or something? I hate the Microsoft Store. It's really terrible. What's on my wish list? I just say there's two, but there's only one. Okay, that's strange. Anyways, but like I was saying with finding a game, I'd like to find something that I can like kind of interact with chat too, so it's not boring and just me sitting there playing a game not talking, because sometimes like I'll get so engrossed in a game that I just completely kind of forget that I'm streaming, and so I'll just play the game and not talk. But I don't know. I mean, this streaming and stuff shouldn't be a huge priority over, well, academic stuff like school and whatever, well, college, because I still need to graduate high school, which is, well, very important. And this actually in March I'm turning 18, so need to figure out some stuff with that. I have a lot of plans for when I do turn 18, not like going out and partying or anything, but like financial plans and getting jobs and stuff like that. Like, I'd like to do Amazon Flex, so I'd like to be able to drive for Amazon. And then what I would like to do is, well, first I'd really need to get a new car if I am going to be doing driving as kind of my job. So for Grubhub or whatever, I can't do Uber Eats, and I think there was something else that I can't do because it's like they require you to be 21. I know Grubhub's 18. I think DoorDash is also 18, but also, if you're like Overcooked, very surprised you haven't heard of that game, Stumped always plays where you're on a spaceship and have to work with 3 others cleaning it. It's not like Overcooked chat. You mean Among Us? Hold on. I didn't get it. Anyways. Lots of things to think about for the future. And like, you know, it's kind of crazy to think that I'm turning 18 in less than 3 months. Not Among Us, it's a cleaning game, just can't remember it, but it's a lot like Moving Out, Overcooked type game. Yeah. And I'd like to keep streaming, and what would be nice is to be able to set a stream schedule, which would probably have to change when a new term starts up for school, in case, you know, if I have a Zoom meeting on the time I'm supposed to stream, obviously I can't do the same. Another thing I need to get figured out is I would like to be able to get my Twitter going, because I've never used Twitter, and I know it's a really good communication platform, because basically what I've used for communication is the YouTube posts, which are okay, but I'd like to be able to use something else, and I have a lot of ideas, but I just don't have enough time to do them. The YouTube group Stumped plays it all the time, and basically Overcooked, but more frantic and roguelike. Okay. Because like, it'd be nice to make YouTube shorts and TikToks, or, you know, post things on Reddit or whatever it is that I'm thinking of, but the time that it takes to edit some of these things is kind of insane. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever edited it, like, and I'm not just talking about like cut a couple of things out in a YouTube video, but actually like apply effects and zooms and all these things is very difficult. And okay, it's not difficult necessarily, like you still need to know what you're doing, but it takes a long time. Like, okay, just for instance, let me find the video. Okay, that's public. I'm looking here, hold on. There it is, yeah. Okay.
We're gonna be doing this a little different.
So this video, and it's funny because episode 60 that I did, like I uploaded this in 1440p, but when I originally did this video, so there are things that come into play with bitrate and resolutions. So all of these videos, I know, well, at least Mark's and Wade's are 1080p at 6,000 kilobits per second. Bob's is slightly different because it's on Facebook, but that's what they are, right? So I originally, I think episode 62 was the first one I ever did. I did it 1080p. I think I also used like Vegas Pro, which I wouldn't ever recommend, but that's just my stuff. Hey, saw you're streaming and wanted to drop by, and thank you for the videos. Keep it up. Yes. almost got behind on videos. I kind of do them in batches sometimes, and so I'll take like several hours in a night and just edit a ton of them and get, you know, I don't have to do necessarily a ton, but take out the beginning part and put in a transition and cut out the breaks and stuff like that. But yeah, I just uploaded 6, so I think there should be like 5 more weeks of at least just that. If they stream like actual new stuff, then I'm going to do that, and I try and put it out by Thursday or Friday is when I try and get those out, because normally they'll stream on, well, normally stream on like a Tuesday, and then I have Tuesday to get them and then edit them possibly, then render them that night, render the videos overnight, and then upload them on Wednesday to then have time to process because they're higher quality by Thursday or Friday. That's kind of my plan. Anyways, so, okay, look at this way. You may be busy right now, but you're being smart by slowly growing your audience. Once you're finished school, then you have time. You'll be so much farther ahead than if you stopped. Yeah. Well, I'm not planning on stopping. Like, I'm not planning on just not doing anything with the channel. There are things that I would like to do that I either don't have time to do or just don't have the motivation right now to do because I'm so bogged down with other things. And I'm not just talking about school. I'm also talking about like life stuff, like, well, future stuff, but also, you know, things that are happening right now and kind of depressing things here and there, which everyone has. But yeah. So with the bitrate, episode 62, I did it 1080p and exported the whole video at 6,000 or 6 or 7,000 kilobits per second. And if you look at the size, well, you can't, but when I look at the size of the videos, let me hold on, let me find the video here. It's on my NAS here. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So just like this. These are all the multi-streams. And you can see over here on the right, 62. Oh, I didn't export that one as that. Huh, strange. Yeah, episode 62, which if I open it,
I was just like, oh, I got.
God, you can see it's not even lined up there.
My laptop, like,
But you can also see there is. Well, I don't know if you can see because it's going through the stream. But like in these,
yeah, sorry, I muted you.
He's kind of blurry. He's blurry.
I don't know what it is.
His video, I couldn't figure out how to get it correct. There's a gap here, and the crazy thing is like, what is that? Yeah, that was 18 gigabytes, but see, only 12,000 kilobits per second, 17 gigs, 1080p. This one was 1440, and I did it at 6,000 kilobits per second. I didn't realize this, and this is a multi-stream. This is that video.
Stream and record from the same thing. Yeah. You like to live
dangerously. Which, if you actually watch the YouTube video, you will see more artifacting than if you watched the newest multi-stream that's in 4K.
Cells. That's what we need to really confirm.
And so the reason behind that is the more resolution you have, the more bitrate you need. Well, my thinking was, well, I don't need to go higher in bitrate because these videos are only at 6,000. That's not true. So with the single ones, that's just marked stream because the other 2 streams are not there anymore. I export those at because they're 6,000 kilobits per second, but I export them at 1440p at 27 to 28,000 kilobits per second. And that is just to maintain like export at a high enough quality to where there is no video degradation at all. Like what you're seeing is the exact same thing you'd see on Twitch. And that makes for a lot bigger file size. Like I think some of them are up in the like 56 gig range. But the thing is it makes it look a lot better on stream and stuff. So that's why this one doesn't look as good, and his face is kind of blurry if you go and watch the video. Anyways, I'm getting way off topic. But so this video, which is edited
differently. I believe that the developer should definitely create a system where one person should stay in the caravan at all times to monitor the situation, monitor people's sanity, and like keep tabs on everything through the cameras and yada yada and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. So this will be our first professional job together.
Is professional the hardest?
And I also
New
didn't
things,
really
we
know
have
how to sync up their
head-mounted
voices
cameras, so that
the same way.
whoever's monitoring can see the
Or
movement
well, his
where that
video
head-mounted
to the
camera
voice
is
in his
walking around
video
all
and
the
stuff
time.
like that.
That's
So
good.
I like how Mark and I are slowly backing away from loud Wade. Have you guys been to the asylum?
Yeah, we did the asylum.
Yeah.
but I think I still have the project file. I think if I got the original video that I could see what it looked like, but there is seriously cuts and pastes, well, just cuts in general, everywhere. Anywhere from 1 second, like anywhere from, let's say, 10 seconds, from down to like half a second cuts throughout the entire video. Like if I pulled up DaVinci Resolve, which I don't think it's going to show the actual file, but if I pull this up here, which DaVinci Resolve is what I use. Do I even still have it? That's the funny moments. Maybe not. Oh. This is it. Yes, I know. Holy crap. Yeah, so it says media offline. Okay. So that's just because the file hasn't it's not saved. This is zoomed out. This is when I zoom in. Hope things get better. They will eventually. Sorry, I didn't read that. Will eventually. You seem like a good dude. I hope when you have the time, you do things because they're fun and not just because you feel less stress or importance. I want to do more stuff. I need to kind of, well, one, I need to move out of the house and move into the shed where it's quieter and I'm not restricted by the house rules. Which is why I've been quiet tonight because, well, people are sleeping in my house. So there's that. But anyways, so you can see all the time. So that right here is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So within this window is 2 minutes and 40 seconds of clips. Every single one of these little lines here, every single one is a separate clip. All the way down, continuing, all the way down. Still going. I don't remember what this was. I'm not sure what that one was. In here, look at all these. And then, yeah, all these transitions that I would need to add in too. All the way down to here. This was a bigger section, and then all the way to the outro. Totally understandable. That took 6 hours to edit. That took 6 hours to edit the whole thing. And so what made it more difficult, okay, so this is what also made it more time consuming also, or possibly it took less time. I don't know. So what I had done is I took Mark's video, his YouTube video that Lixian or whoever edits it, edited that video. And what I did is I basically just kind of did the same edits that he did. And I wasn't able to do like the zooming in of his camera because I didn't want to identically copy his video. But I did just the cuts just to make it sound audio wise sound the exact same of his YouTube video, but you could see everyone's perspective, which I thought was really cool. I didn't do any more of these. One, because, well, they didn't do great on YouTube. Like, yeah, they have 10,000 views, but that was also May 18th of 2021. They didn't do great comparatively to everything else. Meant totally understand what you're doing, what you need to do. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't done any more because it takes a ridiculous amount of time. And I would like to record and edit my own videos and make my own gaming stuff, or maybe some more fun stuff or interactive stuff. I don't know. I just need to kind of figure out my life first and make time and kind of work on my own stuff before I start kind of doing more things for other people, you could say. So yeah, definitely got a lot of plans for the future. If they ever go through, I don't know. I would like them to, but things can change at a split second. Like, literally could be driving down the road and get hit by a semi out of nowhere and then be paralyzed. And that's literally what life could be. And it's kind of crazy to think about it that way, but it could happen. It's a real thing. And so you just kind of have to take it one day at a time, because you can only take things one day at a time. Anyways, yeah, I like talking with you guys and sharing stuff. Like, obviously I'm not going to go like ridiculously personal, because that'd be kind of strange, but yeah, it's nice to kind of feel like I'm talking to someone, even though no one's really like speaking to me. They're kind of putting text in chat, but I don't know. I like this kind of interaction. Like, I like being able to kind of be here and be with you guys. Let me turn the music back up. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm hoping to get my YouTube stuff figured out. There are some things going on that I will not discuss, just because it's my own matter, but some things that need to be figured out, and hopefully everything works out. So, been streaming for an hour and 49 minutes, and I need to head to bed, because I need to get up tomorrow at 9:30, and it's 1:15 right now. So yeah, I should probably get to bed. So yeah. All right. Well, I will see you guys in the next stream. I don't know when that will be. I'm hoping possibly tomorrow. What I will try and do is give like a 10-minute, 15-minute, like kind of schedule thing, because I can schedule a stream. So I'm going to try and do that. The issue when I do that is sometimes I'll schedule it and then literally when I schedule it for 15 minutes later, 14 minutes later, suddenly something happens and I can't be at my computer for 5 minutes. And so it's late, or even 10 minutes longer. And so I'm going to try I may not always follow through with the exact time. I will try. It's very frustrating for me, and more for me than it is for you. So, yeah. Okay, so, yep, I will see you guys later. And I hope you all have a wonderful night or a wonderful day. And yeah. Try and look forward to this year. We're all hoping it'll be better. And, yeah. Have a good time. And goodbye.